Hello! Today is a very exciting video for me. I have been delaying it because I feel a little, I don't know what the word is, like nervous. It feels like too final. Okay, someone's using a power tool outside. That's alright, we'll continue and hopefully you can't hear that at all. But it feels like a very final decision and I'm still very much up in the air. So for context, it is Friday and I'm leaving for Japan Monday night. So only a couple more sleeps and I'm very excited, but I have realized I am a bit of a last minute packer. I don't consider myself a last minute packer because the last minute implies that you're doing it in a rush. But I feel like it's the right timeline for me. Am I overthinking it? Anyway, so what I've got in front of me are the things that I am planning to bring to Japan for travel journaling. And I feel like there's quite a bit here compared to when I went to Bali because I actually have so much more luggage space this time. This is the first time that I've gone to Japan. This is my third time now, but this is the first time that I have had this much luggage space. And I'm trying not to go too crazy and pack too many things because I know I want to bring stuff back. And so I'm still trying to stick somewhat to the carry-on mentality of just the bare minimum, but I'm bringing this mild liner pen and maybe a few extra things because I feel like I do have the space and I don't have to be so conservative. But let me lay it out and then we'll kind of talk about it. So I've got my list here in front of me because I know I will forget something otherwise. So the format of this video is going to be what I'm bringing and how I plan on using it. And then also the second half of the video will be more like a wish list. I'll talk about what I'm planning to buy because I thought that just would be a little fun addition because it kind of relates to the stationery part. I don't have anything printed out to show you, but I will show you like screenshots on the screen of the things that I want to buy and just talk through it. It doesn't mean that I will necessarily buy all of those things, but I'm just thinking about it. So the first thing I wrote on my list of things I will bring, let me try to rearrange this nicely. I am planning on bringing this lightweight insert and I bought this ahead of time even though I am going to Japan, so I could have bought it there, but I wanted to have it just in case I wanted to do any spreads before, like ahead of time. I'm really not sure, like making the first mark in the journal is always the scariest part, but it is the lightweight insert, the TN standard insert. So it's Tomoe river paper, I believe. There's 128 pages, so that's double the amount of pages, and I just feel like for the value, I do love the light paper, but you get double the amount of pages. I journaled in the passport size in Bali and I had no issues with it, like sticking scrap paper in afterwards, writing in it, like no issues at all with my Muji pen. So yeah, I'm not sure how I want to start this. Like, do I want to dive straight into it with a photo? I probably just as a perfectionist thing, I always leave the first page blank generally so that I can create something after the fact. I might just put a photo there. I really don't know, but I've seen some people put like packing lists, like itinerary. I have all of my itinerary, like planning stuff on Notion, so I don't necessarily need to write it down, but I could write down dates. I'm not sure. Usually I just start with putting in tickets, but maybe I want to do like a wish list page, but again, it's all on Notion. I don't really feel the need to do it. And packing lists, it changes so much as I go, so yeah, I feel like I will just dive straight into it with any ephemera, so I don't think I need to set it up. But also it's just nice to have the option there if I do want to start journaling in it straight away before I get a chance to go to the Traveller's Factory store in Kyoto. But that is the very first thing, so the TN standard lightweight insert. The next thing is this stained TN passport sticker album. I believe it's called the sticker release insert or something, but I just call it my sticker book really. So I don't like the pink, but I will survive, and I've already gotten it dirty. I'm pretty sure that's coffee. But I have some pre-cut. I don't think I will need stickers, but it's one of those things where like it's a comfort thing. It's just nice to have there, and if I do want to use stickers, I have all of these options. And At the back, like I've just got some random ones from like PET tape that I've cut up manually. And then at the back, I've got like my own stickers that I've just, needed to put in here. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's mine. My own PET tape, and then some of the more simpler ones that I might use, but again, I don't think I will use too many. Maybe these as a nice little like embellishment, but I think I will use those. I think I'll stick down some more because I've got a few offcuts, but apart from that and maybe the craft things, I don't think I will really need this, but I'm gonna bring it anyway because again, I've got the luggage space, and it's a comfort thing. It's nice to know that you have stickers, you have the options. Not that like I'm not going to have stickers, because obviously I'm going to buy some when I'm in Japan, but it's not too heavy to carry around, so I will be bringing that. So bringing these two together. I didn't want this in the standard size because I felt like it was just too big for stickers. I kind of like it in a smaller book, so that's the reason I got the passport size for that. Pens, that's next on my list. So I am planning on bringing these are both Muji cases and pens. So I've got the 0.7 in black in here, but I think I'm going to swap it out for the 0.5. I think 0.5 will work. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I like both, but for travel journaling, I think 0.5 will work better. So I will put a 0.5 black ink refill in this one. And then this one, I've already got a 0.5 brown refill. And so I've kind of used it here. So it's like a dark brown. You really can't tell. It's very subtle. So I think those two colors are the only two pens that I really need. And they're just easy go-tos. If I run out of like ink, I can just buy it from the Muji. It's really easy. So those are the only two pens. The only thing about this one is that I did put it in my Delphonics pouch one time and it leaked. Like the ink kind of stained my pouch, and I think it's because of the open pen thing, whereas this one it's just fully contained. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. But then I don't want two of these because then I won't be able to tell the difference unless I stick something on. I think you can get this in the clear as well, so maybe, I don't know, but that's fine. I will try this. I will bring this, and hopefully I just got to keep it up so it doesn't like leak. But I will be bringing these two Muji pens. Nice and simple, not fancy at all. The next thing is my brush pen, which I got from Daiso. It just says zebra and I can't read the kanji, but it's just a standard brush pen that it's the only brush pen really that I use, and I use it mostly in my daily log, which you might recognize. So it looks like that. It's not a fully soft brush tip, so there's a bit of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it is nice to use, and I think I used it in the Japan travel journal as well. So this is a nice simple brush pen, very versatile if I want to do any headings. I do plan on checking out some of the brush pens in Japan, but yeah, again, this is just from Daiso in Australia and I really like it. It's only $380, I think, $330. And it's, easy to get, so I like that as well. And the very last one is kind of a last minute addition. I'm not sure about this, but I thought it would be nice in case I do want to highlight or add some color. Again, this would be the thing I would drop if I was running out of space, even though it's so light and I only had carry-on. But because I have the space, I'm like, why not? I'll bring this mild liner. I'm not sure what color I want. I have a dark brown, a green, and a gray as well. I think the brown might be slightly too dark, so I think this is a nice mild liner color. So yeah, I do anticipate not really needing or using this, but I'm going to bring it anyway. So I only have these 4 pens that I'm going to bring, and then I'm going to bring this mini glue tape. So I got this from Daiso as well, and it's like super mini, so I feel like it's so good for travel. And yeah, I think it should last, but if it doesn't, it's 8 meters. If it doesn't, that's fine. I can just buy it in Japan, but I do just like how small it is. It's just so mini. And yeah, again, these little things I feel like all add up when you only have carry-on. So that's why I kind of prioritize like small and light things. And then we're moving on to the month page. So it's a page ripped out of my Muji monthly, let me grab that, Muji monthly book, this A5 book, which I bought last year in Japan, and I never really ended up using it. I always struggle with month of use, but I saw Mark from Mark's Mellows. They ripped it out for their insert, and I just thought the idea of like ripping it out was really smart. So I decided to rip out a page. And there's a month on the back as well, which I've already started writing on, but I'm not going to show you that because I don't want to get like doxed. I don't want to reveal all of my information of where I'm going. So it'll look exactly like this. But basically, I've just written on the back where, like, what we're doing on that day, like the main thing. So it's just a more condensed view of the itinerary. If I just need to quickly pull it out to see what we're doing, like next week or tomorrow or something, it's just the main events. And so again, everything's still in Notion, but this is just a quick way to see like where we are when we're checking out everything. And so I thought, like I love both analog and digital. I feel like both has its pros and cons. And I feel like for analog, it's just really easy to refer to things. So yeah, who knows? I might end up sticking this in. You can see some folds. I tried to make it like TN size. I might end up like sticking it in on the front. I'm trying to do it without showing you the other side, but yeah, it could be something like that. And I just, oops, you couldn't see that. Yeah, I might just stick it down or use a paper clip, and so I can always just pull it out to see. And so one side is the itinerary, and I was thinking for the other side because it's blank, so I might as well use it. I might just write down little highlights. I also don't anticipate using this, but the option is there if I need to, because I'm going to bring this anyway. It's on the back. So yeah, either I do highlights or I will do expenses, like how much we spend. Yeah, but I do like having that as an option there, and I will keep that in my notebook. But that is a ripped out Muji monthly page. And then next thing is my daily pages. So these pages, I'm pretty sure I talked about it in the Bali travel journal video, but these pages I ripped out of my pocket moleskin. I don't know what to call it. Everyone calls it different things, but I call it moleskin. So this is my 2024 pocket moleskin, and I use it for daily just to-do lists. Really, really simple. I just need a place to jot down what I'm doing for the day. Just simple checklists. So like I said in the previous video, I think, because I'm traveling, I won't be, writing to-do lists on this page on the days that I'm traveling. And so what I thought was I just accidentally ripped that out. So what I was thinking was I rip out the pages that I am traveling. And so now I have kind of dated note pages if I need to quickly scribble down something for that day, that particular day. So it didn't work for me in Bali because I felt like I wasn't really in the mind space to sit down and write, but it was just a very like beachy summer holiday, and so I was just like reading. I really wasn't doing anything. I wasn't in the mood to journal, but I'm thinking in Japan there might be a little bit more space, intentional time to journal. I'm not sure. Again, this is so light and easy and thin that it really doesn't take much to bring this. So I did rip it out and destroy my notebook a little bit, but I am going to bring these daily pages just in case I want to write down anything if I don't get the chance to journal that day. Like, I don't really know what my system is going to be like when I'm going to try to print photos at 7-Eleven and stick in ephemera and try to semi-do it in real time, because I have only ever really done it after the fact. But again, I think there'll be a little bit more time to journal, and I will want to journal because I'll be surrounded by so much stationery. It's just that kind of holiday for me. And so if I don't get a chance to sit down and journal yet, I can just scribble in here. That's the idea. And ideally, I don't overthink it, and I just print out photos when I've got enough. But my goal is to not write too much, and just to, like in my market journal, which I will show you, just to have the photos and some captions like that. So not a ton of writing, not like I used to do, because I think this is much more sustainable and fun and easy to do in the real time, and I just don't think I need that much writing as opposed to this because I feel like this is more stream of consciousness journaling and this is just like actually memory keeping. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying for me personally, because I have a fear of forgetting things, I tend to want to ramble. But I have found that this is kind of sufficient if, I have enough photos. So I think I will prioritize the photos and ephemera and layers. And I feel like that will not bring back, but like it'll keep a lot of the memories. And so that's what I'm trying for this trip, to try not to ramble too much, just use a bunch of photos and just write captions if I need to, and not feel the need to just sit there and write a whole page of words unless I want to. So that's what this is for, to keep track of anything that happens during the day. I could write expenses here if I want to as well, to-do lists if I want to. But if I do want to do a stream of consciousness style of journaling, and I don't know where to write it, it doesn't relate to any photos, it's just a thought I have. It might not even be travel related. I'm going to journal in here. And I did bring this to Bali as well, but I did not use it at all because, again, I realized it was not that kind of trip for me. But it's so small and easy and light that I feel like, yeah, it's kind of the same thing as like the Moleskine Pocket pages, but because these are dated, it would be more useful for writing down like particular day highlights. Whereas with this journal, if I just have a thought or an idea about my business, because when I'm traveling, I do get epiphanies about just life in general. I feel like it's just a really good reset for your life. And I feel like, yeah, I might get inspired to start rambling about something, maybe some ideas I want to try, any video ideas. So just my scribble notebook is what I'm calling it, my scribble journal. So this is just for anything. It's not a fancy journal. I bought it I think 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago in Thailand, and I just stuck this piece of cardstock on the front, and I feel like that makes it look really pretty. I also have this other one I did the same thing to with a different piece of cardstock, and I really like this one. But yeah, this is just a kind of backup journal. I'm very much like a backup packer, naturally. I think I have a tendency to pack out of fear of, I think that's very normal for everyone, but I think I overpack. I have a natural tendency to overpack because I'm afraid I will need something. And it's been a journey over these past few years with each trip trying to counter that natural tendency, to learn from my experiences and realize like I don't actually need that much. If I do need something, like if I didn't have this or this, I could just buy a small notebook in Japan and that's fine. But for me, my fear of forgetting something that I need is compounded like on top of being stingy as well. Like those two things accumulate, and so like I don't want to waste money buying something I didn't need when I could have packed it. And it's a lot of like fear and anxiety wrapped into it because you're away from your stuff usually. But I feel like I am getting a lot better with every single trip, and so when I try to pack minimally, I just want to make it clear that that is not my natural tendency. It's kind of years and years and years of work trying to like pare things down, and that is not just stationery, because this is kind of my first time packing stationery for a long trip like this overseas, but with my clothes as well, because I very much at the beginning was an overpacker with clothes because I do love my clothes. I love my fashion, but yeah, I feel like that's part of why I love traveling as well. You get to learn so much about yourself and you improve the next time, just these tiny little things. Anyway, I'm rambling, but the very last thing, so I've got my tea and insert, lightweight paper, I've got my sticker album, my sticker book, my daily pages for highlights if I need to. I've got my month page for my itinerary and maybe highlights as well, but I don't think I'll use that. And then I've got my scribble book for any longer kind of thoughts, journaling. Nothing fancy. This is just the scribble one. If I need to get something out or write something down for myself, sometimes just the act of writing is very therapeutic. Sometimes I just have thoughts swirling around in my head, and getting it out onto paper versus, like typing it out. Sometimes that process can be very, very nice. And so I really like the idea of having a scribble journal just for that. Again, it depends on our days and how much time I have to do that. But because I don't have my normal journaling routine when I'm traveling, like I do my morning pages in the morning and then I have my daily logs. So that's a lot of writing typically in a day for me, and I think being without that will mean I'll be a little bit more on edge for lack of a better word. And I think for me, journaling is such a calming therapeutic process that I will anticipate that I will need some sort of safe space to just get the thoughts out of my brain, because I know if I keep it in my brain, that's when I start to spiral a little bit about anything. I could just be panicking about all the things I have to do when I get back, or, I have this video idea and I'm feeling really impatient, or anything. It could be good or bad, but I know for myself that if I don't get it out of my head onto paper, I will just not be in the right emotional mental state. So this is again, if I don't use it, it's a comfort thing. I know it's there if I need to, and I like the idea of that. So those are my main travel journals, and then the last one isn't really a travel journal because it's my language journal. And so I'm bringing this, of course, I still have a lot of blank pages, but I'm bringing this, of course, so that I can reference any Japanese and kind of revise it as I go. And maybe if I'm crazy, I might do some additional practice while I'm there, because I think I will pick up some words while I'm there. Every trip I tend to pick up some extra words. But yeah, I think this is obvious that I need to bring this, but it's kind of my past few months of Japanese practice. And this has been a game changer for me in terms of picking up the language, because I don't know why I thought I could just memorize everything, and I did. I picked up some words, but physically writing it down and then going over it for the next few days has been so crucial for me in memorizing things. And I wouldn't say I've memorized every single thing in here, because some of them are really specific things, where did you buy lunch? I'm not going to ask someone that in Japan. So this example was not necessarily for me to know the sentence, but to understand the sentence structure, if that makes sense, and just understanding how to use doko de, doko de or doko ni, for example. Anyway, so yes, I will be bringing this, and I do like that it's already in a TN insert, because, and we're going to go into my wish list now, because I am planning on getting a TN cover when I'm in Japan. And you might be laughing, you're already using TN inserts and you don't have a cover? I don't. I just use these as notebooks right now, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in the cover. And it's not too expensive, but I just don't want to invest in something that I wasn't sure I was going to use. And so, I was experimenting with the size of it, if I like the size of it, if I can see myself using it. And I feel like for travel journaling in particular, I do really like the size of it. And I'm not sure, 100% sure yet, if I'm going to use any inserts for other things, like my other daily journals. You will see that at the Techakagi when I come to a decision. But when I get my cover, which I'm planning on getting it on either the second or the third day when I land, we're going to go to Kyoto and go to the Traveller's Factory. I'm going to get an olive cover. This was a very long decision in the making, and Maddie from Hello Naya really helped me with this, because she is a TN expert, but she is actually moving away from that system, funnily. But now that I'm ready to dive into it, I've decided on getting the olive. It's been a long time coming. I think I've been thinking about this for, I think, at least a year now. At least a year. And I've been going back and forth on the covers and asking Maddie, different questions about the covers, the materials, the maintenance of it. For me, it's really important that it's not high maintenance, because I don't mind the scratches. At first, I think I did. I think when it's your own cover, the scratches, are telling your own story. So of course you won't mind it as much. I don't particularly love the look of scratches. I know other people die for the look of the scratches. I think because for me, it feels like, oh, I've ruined my cover. I haven't really owned anything where you want it to look used. I mean, I'm very rough with my journals, so I know it's going to get, show signs of wear and tear, but I did want something that didn't need to be conditioned, wasn't going to show up scratches too easily. I don't want to be too precious about it, and I don't want it to be I have to take care of it too much. And so Maddie was helping me, and she said basically the olive cover is probably the most low maintenance, and I did want a brown. So initially I wanted the brown color because I like the brown. I'm a brown girly. I do like my browns, but the material of the brown is slightly smoother, and so Maddie said that I do need to condition it quite a bit if I want to get out the scratches. And I don't know. Everything was just kind of pointing to me getting the olive, which will, darken with time. I wasn't a big fan of the green, but I like how it's a warm brown sometimes, depending on the cover that you get. I think it differs from batch to batch, but I am planning on getting the standard cover in olive, and so I'll be able to put these journals instantly in there, which is very exciting. I do plan on getting some accessories. I'm not a big customization person, but I do want maybe just a simple charm. I was thinking a circle. I'm not 100% sure on all of the charm options. And at the very least, I think I will just put a coin. I think it's the 10 yen. It's one of the coins. Maddie also did that on her TN, which I thought was a great idea, and I just love the look of it. So in terms of charms, I think it'll be really simple. Something circle, not too much going on the outside, but on the inside, I do want some sort of zip case, zip wallet. I'm not 100% sure if I want the cotton one. I feel like it does bulk up the planner quite a bit, and I think it'll depend how it feels in my hands when I go into the store. And so that one's up in the air. I will decide when I get there if that's something that I want. Otherwise, I will get the zip. Well, actually, I think I would definitely get the plastic zipper case because I can store a bunch of ephemera in there. But the two things I'm tossing up between are the craft file folder or the cotton zip case. I'm kind of leaning towards the craft folder, but I think it's one of those things where I won't really know until I get there, and hopefully there are some examples out where I can, touch it and open it. I think the zip case for ephemera, like receipts, tags, stickers, extra like business cards that I want to stick in my journal. And then the craft folder, if I get that could be for quick access stickers, if I want to put that in there, or display some prints. And then I would like to get a grid. Well, I'd like to stock up on some inserts. I don't want to go too crazy because it does take me a while to, like, I've got a bunch of other journals, but also it's not a big deal if I stock up on a bunch of inserts because I can always use them. But I think I'm going to get 2 grid inserts and maybe 2 more lightweight inserts, I think, because I don't have any left after this, and I think I want to use it for the markets next year and any future trips. So 2 grid and 2 lightweight inserts. And I think that was all in terms of, one more thing, index clips. So I've seen a bunch of people use index clips, and I think that'll be really helpful for just in my planner, referring to like the month page. I can quickly flip to that. But I don't think they're too expensive, and I love how low profile they are, so I'm planning on getting that. I was also tossing up like whether or not I wanted to get a brass clip, and you're like, but you have one right here. This is not mine. So Maddie very kindly, again from Hello Naya, allowed me to borrow one of her clips so I could decide whether or not I wanted it. And truth be told, I have not used it in the past month that I have gotten it. I haven't felt the need because I haven't really been, I guess, journaling in anything so bulky that, I mean, it would have been nice in this, honestly. Anything so bulky that I needed to clip down, but also it's not in my routine to naturally gravitate towards using a clip. And my dilemma was that I do have a clip, which is kind of technically a kitchen clip. Let me grab it. So I have this clip that looks like a Penco clip, and it was like a really cheap, like $2 clip, and it does the job. And so again, I'm torn between like, the aesthetics, but it's cheap and I already have it on hand, so do I really want it? It does the job. It might not be very pretty, but it does the job. And so I think it's $35 here in Australia, so it's not that cheap. It's lighter than I thought. I am leaning towards getting it because I think it's just so pretty. So in terms of like an aesthetic accessory, I do want it, but in terms of like functionality, I don't actually need it. I just feel like it's one of those things you gotta have with your TN cover. So I don't see it as something I would travel with because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it would destroy things in my bag. It would destroy my cover, but I feel like I just want to own it because it's so pretty. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think this is the one I will get. I'm not a big fan of the plain one. I think there's another one as well, which is weird. I know I like to travel, but I don't want such travel specific themed things. I don't want it to be so like on the nose, so obvious for me personally. I think because like I'm not actually traveling all the time, and so I want it to be a very like simple. I don't want it to be travel themed because most of my life is very simple. I'm at home most of the time, and so yes, I think I will. It's undecided, but I think I will get the brass clip just because it is so pretty, and I think it'll look incredible with the cover. But so far, I haven't actually found that I've needed this while journaling. But again, I'm not used to journaling with it. Okay, so that's all for TN things mostly. I also do want a pencil board. I'm particular about the colors of the pencil board, and so I want a TN standard size one. I know that there's one where it's like just a cream with maybe blue lines, and I think that's a really nice simple one. But if I see a pencil board I like, I definitely will want to buy that, but I don't want anything too colorful. No sort of like illustrations on it, unless it's really, really minimal. But yes, pencil board is also on my list. And I think that's it for the TN accessories. I am planning to go to the Superior Labor Store in Kurashiki. I don't know if I'll buy anything there. I think it's really cool that you can customize your TN cover there. You can buy a cover, put like exclusive like TSL patches on there, but again, I'm not a big customization person, and it feels like such a waste to have that opportunity and not use it. But I know I won't want the patch on there, and so I just want to go there to check it out and to just like absorb the ambience of the store. Maybe I'll pick up some accessories from there. Maybe I'll want something TSL, but I just want to visit the store in Kurashiki, and I think that'll be really cool. Kurashiki is also the birthplace of washi tape, so there are a few MT washi tape stockists there. I believe the actual factory is in Kurashiki as well, but yes, I'm going there mostly so I can, check out the stationery. But the area is beautiful as well, the historical district. In terms of non-TN things, so I bought this Stalogy last year when I went to Japan, and that was in June of 2023. I have not used it. There are reasons for that because I've been using up past journals, but I just felt like I had to own this. Like, I love this journal. I have such an unhealthy, well, is it unhealthy? I just have such a fixation, such an obsession with this journal because to me, it's like the perfect journal for me. I just feel like it's so minimal. The grid, the paper is nice and thin. I love the minimal cover. It's just perfect thickness, and it's B6, and I really like B6, and I feel like there's not many planners you can get in B6, but I am planning tentatively, I'm not sure yet, I keep going back and forth. I know I want to use it for something, I just don't know what yet, but I think I will use it for my daily log. Right now I'm using, this is not a Tetra Kaigi, I shouldn't be talking about this, but right now I am using my my giant A5 milligram planner, and so it'll be nice to move into the B6 size because right now this is kind of too much space, and I do find myself needing to push myself to write a little bit more to finish it. I have been adding photos, so that'll help take up some space, but if I'm journaling daily, not having so much space definitely helps, so it's more sustainable. Otherwise I feel like I'm just writing all day, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But anyway, I bought this last year, haven't had a chance to use it, even though I have been dying to use it. But I bring this up because even though I haven't used it, I want to buy another one. I think I will buy one more in B6, and if they have the fog color, the gray color, I think I might want it in gray. I will have a look at the A6 because maybe I want an A6 as well. I don't know how I feel about using two of the same planner, like two same size, two just different colors, because I feel like that's not enough variety for me. I do like variety in my journals, otherwise I do get a little bit bored. But yeah, I am planning to use this for the daily log, maybe for the life archives as well, but again, I don't want to be using two of the same journal for things, so I don't know where life archives is going yet, but my plan is to buy another B6 Stalogy, which I think is about $30 in Japan, around there, and then maybe in a different color as well. So Stalogy plans, because this is just like, I love this planner so much, even though I've never used it, so who knows, I might end up hating it. In terms of like random pens and accessories, I want to get a glue pen. I've seen a few people use it. I can't remember now. It must have been in a YouTube video. maybe Jane the Crazy was using that. As mentioned before, I want to get some brush pens, just the random accessories, stickers, of course, random stickers that I like. Rubber stamps would be great if I always like collecting those. There's not too many PET tapes in Japan, but stickers mostly. And I would like to get a stamp pad. So I just use really random stamp pads right now that you can get in Australia, but I know the stamp ink pad that everyone uses is the Shachihara one. I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to Nagoya, which is where Shachihara is from. So I'm like, well, it's kind of incumbent upon me to buy it from Nagoya. So I've been planning on getting the kind of dark brown reddish color. So that I'm thinking of getting the little one, I think, because I think it's so good for travel. And yeah, maybe I'll just get like the dark red brown and maybe the light brown. It's easy for me to make this decision because I only like a very limited number of colors in terms of what I'd actually use in my journals. But maybe I'll get a black one because it's just so little and portable. So I'm planning on hunting down some Shachihara stamp pads in Nagoya when I am there. And I think that is it. I think also like it's good to bring your own stamp pad as advice from Jane the Crazy, because sometimes the Eki stamps, they are dried out, and so using your own stamps helps. But I'm actually not really bringing any of my own stamps. I want to try to keep the travel journaling as simple as possible, even though I'm very tempted to bring some stamps. My date stamp I think would be nice, but I don't know. I feel like this is just unnecessary. It's a bit bulky, and I'd need something to keep it like so it doesn't stain other things. But it would be helpful. I don't know, guys. Do you think I should can you tell me? Should I bring this? Actually, by the time you're watching this, I'm already in Japan, so it's too late. But can you let me know anyway if you think I should bring it or not? Because what I'm thinking is I can just leave a gap for it on the page, like just a small row, and I will just stamp it after the fact. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. So I'm very undecided about this because I will need to put it in a little like plastic pouch so it doesn't get stained. But again, I have a ton of luggage space this time, which I'm so excited about. I'm not only carrying on for Japan for 3 weeks. The last time we went, we only had 7 kilos for carry on. Yeah, that was a challenge for sure. We definitely bought luggage space on the way back because I'm definitely doing shopping. This time I know not to pack so many clothes because I will be thrifting a lot as usual. It's like my annual thrifting trip in Japan. It's one of my favorite things to do in Japan, actually, the thrifting. But apart from that, I'm going to include it in here because part of me really wants to bring it. Apart from that, that is what I am bringing to Japan. And initially, I was going to bring the Delphonics pouch, but I have since changed up. I mean, you'll see it in the other video, but I've since changed up how I want to carry all of my things, all of my stationery. I think once I get the cover, it'll be nicer to keep everything together because right now it's kind of loose, but it's kind of just going to be thrown into my little bag. But that is all for this video. Very, very simple. I feel like I'm not bringing too much. This is a lot more than usual, but I'm not bringing too much because I'm planning on buying quite a few things in Japan. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to bring you some Japan content, hopefully some journaling, some shopping, and yeah, I will see you when I get back. And I will do my best, because Instagram is a forever struggle for me, but I will do my best to post some things on my Instagram as well. So if you want to see some photos, I don't do stories, so I'm not very good at stories, but I will do my best to post some things as posts on Instagram. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!